Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is all about my budget for week 2 of September using my cash envelope system. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So we're already through the first week of September and as predicted, I am now back at work. Our routines have gone back to pretty much what they used to be back in March, and the impact of that is already evident in my finances and in my spending. And that's because, quite simply, I'm much more busier now, so it means that I have less opportunity to spend money, which is obviously a good thing. So you can see I've got my cash envelopes, the money I'm going to put in them, and my budget planner. I'll just talk briefly about this. So you can see there's my no spender tracker. So today is Sunday the 6th, and so far out of the 6 days of September I've only spent on one of the days, the 1st, and that's when I did our food shop for the week. So if I look just at week 1, so you can see there that all these are no spend days. I've just had one spent on Tuesday the 1st, and just turn over. So week 1 check-in, I spent £33.66 on food for this week. Again, that feels more normal. In fact, that's slightly less, but maybe that's because I went on Tuesday. So it's only kind of the first like 6 or 7 days. But I've used quite a few things in the freezer this week. That's why petrol, I talked last week about how I didn't know whether £20 would be enough. But to fill up the car was £19.60 this last week. So I still have £100 remaining there. And then miscellaneous is £4.50. So I still have 95 left in the budget there. So as September budget goes, week 1, really pleased with how that looks so far. So that's the budget planner. I'll leave a link below to my Etsy shop where you can get those if you want one. But cash envelopes, I've been and got my cash out. Again, I always say this in this, as always I will leave a link below to the binder and the envelopes. They're just from Amazon, but I am thinking about offering the envelopes with the things inside, so you could choose whether it says food or travel or whatever else as an option on my Etsy store, so watch this space for that. As always, I'm going to talk about the 4 variable expenses in our budget, and I've not taken anything out because I'm going to show you just how I kind of work out which bits to take out or not. So I've got food, petrol, miscellaneous and children in the 4. So we'll start with food. So I still have £40, £41 and 80 something pence in there. Something like that anyway. So what I'm going to do, and I normally do this before filming these, I tend to take anything out that's less than 50 pence. So 10p's, 20p's, 2p's, 1p's and 5p's all go in like a little change jar, if you like. It's actually a recycled coffee jar. And it's quite handy to have things like that for like if you need to have change for parking all of a sudden or things like that. And I'll sometimes then take like the contents of the coffee jar, all the loose change, and take it at some point and do like a really small top-up shop using the self-checkout machines and use the change for that. Now at the moment, Morrison's, that is the closest to us, the one I use, is still not accepting cash in the self-service machines. So I will leave all that change in there for now, and like I said, use it for parking if we need change, and then it just kind of stays there, because otherwise if you get loads of change in these and it becomes a bit bulky. It's okay if you spend kind of specific amounts, but I like to take that out. So now that's left with, I've taken out kind of the loose change, if you like, and that's left me with £41.50 in the food envelope. Now that is obviously quite a big amount already, which is great. I think I'm going to put in, I put in another £40 in there, and then we'll see. So £40 again, plus that makes £81. Now I've used quite a lot from the freezer. Our freezer's looking a bit low again, so maybe I should top that up. Even if I can be organised enough, I might do some batch cooking and kind of do, that's how I like to do it, so you do like more meals in there. So maybe if I'm going to do like a spaghetti bolognese, I'll do bolognese sauce, but I'll make double the amount and freeze half for another day. That's how I quite like to work our food. Anyway, so now that leaves me with £81.50. I can't remember the last time I spent £80 in the food shop in 1 week, so we'll see. Don't envisage going over that, I'm not going to lie. It should be perfectly fine as our food budget for 1 week. You know, so the next one is petrol. So I have £5.40 left. If you watched my video last week, this was like a bonus £5 that I found. I'll leave a link to that video if you've not seen that already. I am now going to take this £5 note out and put that back in my £5 savings challenge. I'll leave a link below to that as well. And I'm also going to take out these two 20p's and put them with the other loose change, so that leaves it empty. So I'm going to put £30 in petrol, which is normally what I would put in the car each week. So we'll see. I think that probably will be the norm. I don't know why it was so low in last weekend, but there you go. So £30 goes in the petrol envelope, and we will see. I keep thinking I might need to like increase that because we're doing more kind of little journeys, but we'll see. So £30 in the petrol envelope for next week. Then you will notice I don't have any more cash on my little pile. And that's because the miscellaneous envelope, I spent £4.50 during the shop last week from the miscellaneous envelope. I actually used a £5 note from the food envelope. So I know that's confusing and that doesn't follow my rules at all. And I'll tell you why. Behind me in the queue was the most impatient, grumpy man ever, and he was really annoyed that I'd used cash in the first place for my food shop, and then was even more annoyed because I split it up. So I put all the food on the belt and then put a little, what do you call it, like to show it's the next person, and then do the miscellaneous stuff as a separate transaction, which is fine by me, it's how it works. Anyway, but this man, once he realised that I'd got something else to pay for, was just really quite rude. So instead of faffing around getting my miscellaneous envelope out, I'd got £5 in change in my hand, and because it added up to £4.50, I just gave the lovely man on the checkout the £5 note instead. So that's why that £20 note is still intact, even though I've spent from the miscellaneous envelope. And because this £20 note is still intact, I'm going to leave that as that. I probably will spend this week. I know that we've run out of fabric conditioner, we've run out of like washing liquid for the washing machine, and they always seem to run out at the same time, which is fine. It's just it's quite an expensive purchase, but they last us ages, so that's fine. And the cats need some more food as well, so that will come out of that. So miscellaneous is going to stay as £20. I'm not adding any more to that this week. So that's that. And then the children's one, again, there's £20 in here, but we're still not really doing what we would have done before. So there's no gymnastics fees, we're not going to soft play, we're not going just to places where you would take your children but end up spending money. And they are so desperate to go to soft play, but I just don't know how safe I feel that is yet. So this week, and also we're back in our like normal routine, so there's less time to do stuff, but this week we've not touched the children's budget. It looks like September might be the same, where I budget £100 for the children, but I don't end up touching it particularly, but that's okay. So the £20 in there will stay in there, and we'll see. I don't have any plans this week to take them anywhere. I mean, they're at school and nursery anyway, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes, but that's the children's envelope, and it is still £20 and will be left as that. So I've got £20 in children, £20 in miscellaneous, £30 in petrol, and £81.50 in the food envelope. That is that. That's my cash envelope set up for the week ahead, for the second week of September. And like I said last week, I'm so happy that these are back. They make me feel, as you can see from the amount that I spent this week, make me feel so much more in control of my budget, my finances, my spending. I find this method so much better than using my card, because my card enables me to buy things that aren't on the list, because I know that if I use my card I'll be able to pay for them. Whereas when I use cash, I can't go wildly off the list because I don't know how much everything will then add up to. I'm much more likely to stick to that list. Are you using cash envelopes? How is it going so far? Are you still a bit hesitant about them, which is perfectly understandable? As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.